guys, welcome back to Sophie's Loom Teak. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make, just give me a second to take it out, how to make this cute little backpack charm. This backpack charm is not original. It's made by Mars Looms Creations. And I use this to put it on my LOL dolls because I just think it looks pretty. And these are all of my LOL dolls with their backpacks on. They look so cute, right? And here's some of the backpacks that are not on the LOLs. And now let's just set these aside and let's tell you what you need. You will have to use double rubber bands in this creation. And you will not need a C-clip. Now, what you will need is your rainbow loom set in the staggered configuration, a crochet hook, and some rubber bands, of course, not a C-clip. So let's get started. You will need the loom so the arrow is facing towards you. In this part, I just fast forwarded because you do not put it in the rectangle configuration. Once again, you will need your loom in the staggered configuration. First, we're going to start placing our base color rubber bands. For that backpack that I'm showing you, it's going to be purple. But for the backpack that I'm making, it's going to be a minty color. So you're going to grab 2 rubber bands. I'm placing 2, and you're going to place it from that top peg to the peg right under the arrow. Okay, now that I'm done placing those rubber bands, you're going to go from that peg that you just placed a band on to that left peg right there. So it should look like that. So we're starting the backpack off. And do the same thing to your right. Grab double rubber bands and go from that peg to the top peg that you just placed a band on. And now you're going to do your middle row. On your middle row, you're going to do the same thing except you're going to do 2 rows. And now we're going to do our third row. For our third row, you're going to place 2 rubber bands on each one, but you're going to place 3. 2 on the middle and 1 on the first peg. In this clip, I just continue placing my row of rubber bands, which is 3 rubber bands, on that right peg, but you're using double rubber bands. Now we're going to place our middle color rubber bands, which for that backpack is black, but for the backpack that I'm showing you how to make, it's going to be a pastel yellow. So now let's start placing the rubber bands. Once again, I'm going to grab 2 rubber bands, and I'm going to, just give me a second to grab my rubber bands. I'm going to grab 2 rubber bands, and then I'm going to go from that peg to the peg that I just placed a band on once. And now on the middle, once again. And then for your last row, you're going to place it that peg to the one you just placed a band on. Now we're going to start closing off our bracelet. You're going to grab 2 rubber bands once again of your base color, and you're going to go from that peg on the first row to that peg that has the yellow on it. Now you're going to do it again. And now from that peg that you just placed a band on, you're going to go diagonally to the middle because we're closing off our backpack. And now you're going to do the same thing on your right. You're just going to go from that peg that has the heart color on it, and then you're going to go to the center diagonally. Now we're just going to finish making the middle. You're going to go from that peg to the middle peg that has the yellow. And now we're going to place a cap band. You're going to wrap it around your peg 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that I've finished closing off, we're going to do the backpack strips. So you're just gonna use the rest of your loom to do this. You're gonna grab one rubber band and start from the top. And then you're just gonna place this like a single chain. So then you can alternate colors or you can use one color. And this part is optional. For the LOL doll, since they have smaller arms, I'm using 4 and a cap band. But for your charms, you can use 5. And now you're just gonna place a cap band on top of that rubber band. And now you're gonna do 2 of them. So of course, you're just gonna place it like a single chain once again. And now we're gonna place a cap band twice around your peg like we did on the left. And now we're gonna start looping. You're gonna pull your cap band back and you're gonna grab that rubber band. And you're gonna do this like a single chain. So just keep on grabbing that rubber band and pull it to the front. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast. Now you're gonna do the same thing to your right. So pull your cap band back and pull it over. Pull your cap band back, just keep on pulling your bands over. Now we finished looping them. So you're gonna go ahead, grab your hook, and pop it off, like that. And then do the same thing to the other one. Both of them should go on one hook. Now, that end right there, we're gonna place it on that peg right here, like this. Make sure you're placing both of the bands. Now you're gonna find your cap band and you're gonna stretch it all the way until that peg right there. And then you're gonna do the same with your other one. So put it on those pegs, make sure you do the 2, and then find your cap band and pull it all the way to that top. Now that we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and push our bands down and we're gonna place the horizontal bands. So you're gonna grab one rubber band and you are going to do a triangle shape. And then just put it in a triangle and double loop it all around the 3 pegs. And now that's one way to do it, but I'll show you another way. You're just gonna do it on those 2, double loop it, and then grab your crochet hook and pull that band up. That way's a little easier, don't you think? And now you're gonna do it once again. So I'm doing it my way, but you can do it whichever way you feel comfortable with. Okay, so now we're done placing our horizontal bands or our triangle bands. So we're gonna pull our cap band back. Wait a second, I just need a zoom. Pull our cap band back, and we're gonna grab that top rubber band. For me, it's gonna lead to the center. For you, it should too, if you did the process right. And now you're just gonna loop this all the way up like a single chain. So pull that band, pull it over, and it should be making a teardrop shape. So now that you've reached that one, you're gonna go back inside of the cap band, and you're gonna pull this one over to your right. If it's not going to your right, it should go to your left. And now go back in that cap band and pull it over to your left. Now we're gonna go inside of all of the rubber bands, and you're gonna grab the last 2 rubber bands. And those last 2 rubber bands, you're just gonna loop like a single chain. Make sure you're going inside of your horizontal band and pull it over like a single chain. Inside and pull it over. Inside of your horizontal and pull it over. Now, you're gonna make sure that you went inside of that. So go inside of there and then loop it over to the center. Now do the same thing you did on your left for your right. So go inside of all of the rubber bands except for the last 2 and pull it over like a single chain. Go inside of your horizontal bands and pull it over. Make sure you're going inside of your horizontal bands, because if you don't, then your backpack is just going to be like, it's not going to be together because the horizontal bands hold it all together. Now, we're going to go inside of that and pull it over to the center peg. So now your backpack strips should be connected. Now you're going to go inside of all those rubber bands and you're going to pull those last two over to the center. Now we're going to create the slip knot. If you'd rather use a C-clip, you can, but I want to save my C-clips, so I'm going to make a slip knot. You're not going to go inside of your pegs. You're going to go on the outside and just pull it over that top rubber band. So, like that. Now you can give it a little tug so it's nice and secure. Okay, so now that you make sure it's nice and secure, we're ready to take our creation off of the loom. In this part, I will fast forward. Now we can take our creation off of the loom. Now your backpack should be all connected together and your strips should not be off because you went inside of your strips when you were looping it. Now we can go ahead and grab our doll or your charm. And you can also use a charm, but I prefer using a doll. Now you're going to go ahead and put the backpack on the doll. This part is really fun because you get to appreciate your hard work. Okay, now I just finished putting it on, and that's just how it should look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and bye!